I think we have a serious, not a deficit, a crisis of common sense in the world.
Well, yeah, I think it was Thomas Paine, was it? Wasn't he wrote the book Common Sense,
I
back
don't,
so many years
I
ago, and
don't
and
know.
it was one of the instruments, I think, that was a foundational aspect of the American Constitution, which is a very noble document.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of people don't read it properly. It was an aspirational society. It didn't say that they got there, and you're either moving towards an aspirational side or you're descending into a society that's guaranteed
Tyranny.
to collapse. And that seems to be the pattern within humanity. So there's some sort of overarching cycle that I think we're right in the midst of. And what's the old Chinese proverb? It was a curse, I think. May you live in interesting times. Well, interesting times are chaotic, and so I'm here to advocate for people. Is like, I understand your life is chaotic. I understand that you feel that you might not be able to follow the principles to the letter that you would like to, but start where you are. Start moving in the direction. Start adding the elements that will allow you to produce greater vitality and health. Where now, when you sit in meditation, you're able to get 2 minutes of clarity, 3 minutes of clarity. If you take someone to the gym, you don't put them under a 500-pound squat the first day.
No, not unless you
You,
want to kill them.
yeah, it's progressive resistance training, or
Yeah,
any type of training is developed progressively. And
yeah,
it's the same thing with your health and biology. These are the natural evolutionary cycles. Everybody wants everything today or yesterday. And I think with such instant access and the convenience of ignorance,
yeah,
ignorance has become convenient, both uh, individually and collectively with the groups that we're associated with. So choose the people you associate with wisely.
yeah.
Do your best to become the best healthy person. The Living 4D Principles is a great example of
Hmm.
that. And then from there, your selection of choice becomes easier and easier to make, and these things start to reveal. And you go through a phase, I think, of which can be very negative, where you start to wake up a little bit, and there's almost a sense of hopelessness, like, wow, this is way worse than we thought. And your groups close to you will often start to change because you find yourself arguing points that
Yeah.
with your friends or your family
Family.
members, and it can be very frustrating. And I would suggest that's part of the expectation to understand. And you don't change people by you know browbeating them into whatever. And that's the thing, I think, where these authoritarian systems, with governments who have the monopoly on violence,
Yeah.
okay, those will eventually collapse, and they're collapsing around us. And that can be obviously concerning for someone trying to run their life or run their family or maintain health and vitality. It's just you gotta adapt. And I'm choosing now to see all of these life force disruptors, shall we say. I believe that they are actually the instruments of evolutionary change, and that ultimately we will develop a greater sense of awareness and understanding of how to symbiotically use both technology and the natural evolution in a cohesive way instead of a corrupted way. And that doesn't mean it isn't going to get a little rough out there,
No.
but we incarnated here at this time. So, hey, life's fatal. So
Yeah.
you might as well go all in, because one thing for sure, the outdoor is coming for everyone, and it's not necessarily when you die or how you die. It's more importantly of how you live, and
Yeah.
finding meaning within what you're doing.